Hello everyone. So this video will be quick. I promise it won't be like the 15-minute video from last week. So uh, I hope everyone had a good break first of all, and hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. My original plan was to start this week by handing back your IRRs digitally with some feedback. Those who have had me before know that I like to give recorded feedback, and so that's what I was planning on doing. Um, we're gonna have to delay that a little bit, which is okay. Uh, uh, Wednesday of last week, my son Colin went to the hospital, and so he's sick. He went to the emergency room, and then they brought him over to Bay State to the intensive care unit there, and he's been there for a while. And he got out of the intensive care unit Saturday, but he's still there, and so we've been at the hospital since Wednesday. So he's okay. He just had some some trouble getting oxygen and some other things, but he's better. He's slowly getting better. But that took the majority of our time. So my other kid James has been with my parents, and I have been at the hospital with my wife and son. And so I've just not had a chance to look at your papers, which was the only work I was going to do on my leave. All the other work is going to wait until I get back. But that's also going to have to wait a little bit. So anyway, what you're going to do instead, at least today and tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna put a pause on the writing after today and tomorrow. I'm gonna figure something else out because the more writing you do, the more work I have to do to catch up. Um, so anyway, today and tomorrow is going to be the EOC, the end of course exam part B. Last Tuesday before break, I gave you instructions about what it was, and I asked you guys to read over the sources and to think about the themes that connected all of them, and to think about an argument that you wanted to write about. And so I'm going to ask that today and tomorrow you guys write your end of course, write a draft, write your first attempt. This is the first time you've ever done something like this. Your end of course part B essay. And this is not an IRR. Remember, this is not a research report. You're not doing any external research. This is not something that should take weeks and weeks, right? On the AP exam, this is a 90-minute thing. Really, they say like 15, 20, even 30 minutes spent reading the sources, thinking about them. Some people read faster than others. And then 60 minutes, 1 hour writing something. We've all written something that's 45 minutes to an hour. That's it. That's it. And so it's not a really long essay either, because it's only an hour. So this is a timed piece of writing. This is not something with drafts and drafts and drafts. So this is going to be a timed piece. So in the future, when we do some more of these, we will do it timed. We will literally do 90 minutes. You will come in the future lesson, come in with the packet, and we will practice 90 minutes of this. But for today, you're still getting used to it. So the prompt, hopefully you still have the packet from last Tuesday. It's also posted on Canvas from last Tuesday, but essentially, and the full directions are last week. The full directions are also available on AP Classroom, although that is a 35-minute video. But all you're doing with the end of course part B is you're reading 4 sources. And once you read those 4 sources, you think about how they're connected with a theme. It's often very, very obvious how they're connected. And then you think to yourself, okay, what's the perspective on these sources? Sometimes they might agree with each other. They might, if it's about homelessness, they might have different opinions about homelessness, different perspectives on homelessness. They might be different stakeholders in the topic of homelessness. And then you take a position yourself on that topic, on that idea. That's all you're doing. You're writing an argumentative essay, essentially, to be as simple as possible. you're writing your own argumentative essay on the same topic that those sources are about. And the only thing that's different than a normal argumentative essay, really, is that you have to include two of those sources in your writing, somewhere in your essay. You can include them anywhere. And so you can include all four, but you have to include two. Somewhere in your essay, in your rebuttal, as a supporting piece of your own evidence, in your introduction, somewhere in your essay, you have to include them. And we'll go more into detail in the future, but really that's as simple as I can make it. And so your job today is to write an argumentative essay, do your end of course part B. It could be done. This video is almost over. My vision for you guys would be to finish this today. An argumentative essay is, introduction with a claim, reasons, evidence, and your evidence isn't research-based. You're not looking these things up. It's just your reasons, your line of reasoning, building on each other, and maybe a counter-argument, rebuttal, conclusion, and you're out of there, right? And then my next process would be tomorrow, having some peer editing where you look at each other papers, look at the rubric that the end of course part B has, give some feedback, and do it from there. And then we'll do some more things on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But let's just take it one day at a time, okay? So today, our goal is to do the end of course part B, and we'll see where we're at. All right. There'll be an exit ticket at the end of class. It should just take like 1 moment, but please complete that. That'll be helpful for me. And again, I think I'll try to figure out what to do for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but we'll worry about that then. All right. So there we go. That's it. We'll go from there, and I will see everybody in person next Monday. Okay. Get to work.